So by clicking or tapping on this video, you're probably thinking about starting CrossFit for the very first time. But also, since you're watching this video, you're probably asking yourself, is CrossFit even worth trying in 2020? You've probably been hearing some of those amazing stories of people having great success with CrossFit. They're getting stronger, running faster, losing weight, or doing whatever your best friend has been telling you about CrossFit. But if you're watching this video, you've probably heard some not so successful stories of people doing CrossFit, such as that guy flying off the pull-up bar while doing pull-ups. Yeah, that's just wrong. That's why in this video I'm going to be trying my best to answer the question of, is CrossFit even worth trying in 2020? So throughout this video, we're going to be covering 5 points to determine if CrossFit is for you or if it's not. These points are going to include, is CrossFit even safe, the CrossFit community, the benefits of CrossFit, and how CrossFit stacks up against some other training styles. And then ultimately, we're going to go over if you should actually even start CrossFit this year. So the first thing on the list is CrossFit even safe? You might have heard some of the rumors that CrossFit is known for getting people injured. Now, I will have to admit, a lot of people have gotten injured as a result of doing CrossFit, but it usually came down to one of two things. Either they weren't in a gym with the best of coaches teaching them how to do the movements correctly and properly with good form, or they were working out on their own time without the supervision of a coach. And let's just put CrossFit aside for a moment. If you're brand new to working out and you're trying new things too fast and too aggressively, you will get hurt. Yeah, you gotta feel for that guy. But anyway, the risk of injury isn't just in CrossFit, it's in pretty much every other sport and workout style. For example, before I started CrossFit, I was a runner. 5K race distances were my favorite, and I was constantly trying to train to get faster. Don't ask me what my 5K PR time is though, because I wasn't the fastest kid on the block. But I had fun doing it nonetheless. Anyway, when I was 16 years old, I concocted this perfect training plan to help me get a faster 5K time. And a part of my custom plan was to increase my weekly mileage by 20 miles. Now, the only flaw in the plan was that I did not slowly increase my mileage, but I increased my mileage immediately that week. The result after a week or two was I got runner's knee and it halted all my progress. The point of this story is you can get injured in any style of working out you choose to do. It just comes down to, are you training safely or are you not training safe? And a lot of people will say CrossFit isn't safe because you're doing a lot of highly technical movements with high reps. However, if you are in a gym with good coaches that are teaching you how to do these movements well at the right weight, then your risk of injury goes down considerably. Now, before we go any more into this video, in order to keep it fair, I want to go over a con that is in CrossFit. And that is the low barrier of entry for someone to become a CrossFit coach. So in order to become a certified CrossFit coach, you have to study for a certification exam, pay $1,000 to take the exam, and if you pass, you are a certified CrossFit coach. However, anyone can just go in, study the material, pay $1,000, take the test, and pass, and now they are a certified CrossFit coach, even if they're not good at coaching. And because of this, some new CrossFitters attend a CrossFit gym with poor coaches and they're not getting the proper training on how to do movements correctly, and then they get injured. However, if you do find a good CrossFit gym, then you are in great hands and your risk of injury goes down considerably. And after this video, if you are thinking about starting CrossFit, I have another video where I go over how to choose a CrossFit gym. So I'll be linking to that in the description if you want to check it out, or it'll be linked to at the end of this video. The next point I want to cover in the video is the community that comes with CrossFit. In fact, this is why a lot of people absolutely love CrossFit. Since CrossFit is done in a group format, it creates a very strong bond with the people that you're working out with. This creates an exciting and encouraging atmosphere to work out in, and a lot of people count their CrossFit gym as their second family. Another cool thing is the competitive edge that is in the CrossFit community. So if you're a competitive person, you'll love CrossFit. For example, I have guys in my gym that I'm constantly competing with and trying to get better than them. However, if you're not a competitive person, CrossFit is still awesome. The community is extremely supportive and encouraging, so if you're just trying to get back into shape or you're trying to lose a little weight and you're not interested in competing, you're going to constantly be getting encouragement from your local CrossFit community, which is pretty awesome. Also, the community that surrounds CrossFit offers great accountability to help you hit your goals. And if you're new to working out or just trying to get back into shape, accountability is key in order to help you keep going in the long run. So before we go on to the next point, point, I quick want to mention a con that is associated with the CrossFit community. So in CrossFit, there's a thing called the workout of the day. And in this workout, everyone's scores are put up on a whiteboard for everyone to see. And this is a great thing in and of itself, don't get me wrong. However, people are constantly trying to get a better score than the person beside them. Now this does have its pros and cons, because I did say earlier in the video that I have my own guys that I try to compete with on a daily basis. However, if you don't know when to call it quits, you do have the risk of getting injured. For example, if there's a weight or a movement that you're uncomfortable with, but you do it anyway because the person beside you is going to get a better score than you, then that is where it becomes a con. And unfortunately, a lot of CrossFitters don't know when to call it quits, and as a result of that, they do get injured. So now I want to go over a little bit of the benefits of CrossFit. CrossFit is unique in a way that it not only helps you build muscle, but burn fat as well. If you never did a CrossFit WOD before, it's basically a workout with a lot of different movements combined, performed at high intensity. The intensity of the workout helps you to burn fat, but since you're a lot of times lifting weights or doing strength building exercises in the WOD itself, then you are building muscle as well. This type of training is especially good for you if you're looking to lose weight or stay lean. And the reason behind this, CrossFit workouts are based off of a thing called metabolic conditioning. And that basically means performing workouts at high intensity, like we covered before, but also using workouts and movements that are designed to help you burn calories even after the workout is done. So for easy math, let's say you burn 200 calories in a 20-minute CrossFit WOD. You'll probably burn a lot more than that, however, we're just using easy math right now. And let's also say if you go on a 20-minute run, you'll burn around 200 calories. During both workouts, you burn the same amount of calories. However, after a CrossFit workout, your body continues to burn calories up to 24 to 48 hours later. This is called increasing your metabolic rate, and that is just a fancy term for saying you're increasing your metabolism. While on the other hand, after a run, you're pretty much done burning calories. The next thing we're going to talk about before we go into should you start CrossFit or not is CrossFit versus other training styles. And in today's video, we're mainly just going to be comparing CrossFit with running, powerlifting, and bodybuilding. So running is going to be by far your cheapest option. You can run anytime, anywhere. The only drawback to running is it's mainly an endurance activity and it doesn't include much strength training. However, you can do bodyweight strength training. In fact, I have a video where I show you how you can start CrossFit at home for free just by doing bodyweight WODs. If you want to watch that video, I'll drop a link to it in the description below. However, the drawback here is you have lack of community and accountability. Now, there are apps out there and online groups that are great for building community. However, they're not the same as walking into an actual gym and meeting people you actually know. Now the next thing is if you are literally trying to get as strong as possible, then that is where powerlifting has the advantage over CrossFit. In CrossFit, we do powerlifting lifts like the deadlift, for example. However, that ain't the only thing we're focusing our training on, so we're not truly getting as strong as possible. The downside of powerlifting though is much like running. In running, you're focusing on endurance and you're missing out on strength. And in powerlifting, you're focusing on strength, but you're missing out on endurance. The next thing that we're comparing CrossFit to is bodybuilding. Now in bodybuilding, you're mainly just trying to get physically bigger and look better. Now if just looking good is your primary goal for working out, then you might like bodybuilding over CrossFit or these other training styles. However, in bodybuilding, while you do get strong, you are mostly focusing on increasing your muscle size through hypertrophy training. Now bodybuilding isn't really good at helping you lose fat, so you will have to include in metabolic training or cardio in order to stay lean or lose weight if you need to lose weight. Now one of the pros to CrossFit against all these other training styles is also one of the cons of CrossFit as well. CrossFit, we focus on all those styles in addition to some other styles like gymnastics. We cannot focus on specifically one style, which means we're basically a master of none. Running focuses on endurance, powerlifting focuses on strength, and bodybuilding focuses on getting better and looking better. So finally, this brings us to the question of should you actually start CrossFit? And I will say it really comes down to the goals that you have for yourself. If your goal is just to get fit, then CrossFit is a great option for you. Because another benefit that I forgot to mention earlier is that when you go to a CrossFit gym, they create the programming for you. So you're not constantly thinking what workouts to do next because your coaches are creating a new workout every single day. Or if you're someone like myself who is trying to get as fit as possible and loves competing in CrossFit competitions, then I would highly suggest you do CrossFit. However, if your goals are in line with another training style, then CrossFit probably isn't that great of an option for you unless you use them as an accessory for your current training style. For example, a lot of runners do CrossFit to help increase their running running capability. Like I mentioned before, I used to be a runner before I started CrossFit, and while I loved running, I always missed out on being strong. But when I saw all these elite athletes running marathons and snatching huge amounts of weights, it got me addicted to CrossFit, and now CrossFit is my favorite sport to train in. Now, if you're still unsure about starting CrossFit, I would suggest you just drop by a CrossFit gym and ask them questions. They'd be really happy to answer any questions you have. But like I said before, I'd highly recommend you picking a good CrossFit gym because that is going to be vital to your success as a CrossFitter. So consider watching my other video. It should be on the screen right now, where I go over how to get started in CrossFit as well as how to choose the right gym. Anyway, train hard, and thanks for watching. See ya.